involvement is not strong enough to force Israel to cease fire, and Israel's not going to probably do that. So that's the overview of where this conflict is in its first month since Hamas attack, and it's a lot to understand, and it's overwhelming enough that you might miss the most alarming parts and some of the other behind-the-scenes involvements. Countries who at all support Israel had also better raise their terror alerts, because Tehran is issuing some pretty heavy threats and is just short of calling for a holy war over this. And as I pointed out in last week's video, the real winner here is, guess who? Russia. Moscow and Tehran have met quite frequently and built a partnership since Russia invaded Ukraine. And Russia is using Iranian drones nearly daily to attack Ukraine. Iran is set to join the anti-West, pro-Southern Hemisphere BRICS alliance in January. BRICS is seeking a new world order that benefits aligned countries by turning a blind eye towards their aggressive nationalistic policies. And whether that's the reunification of the Soviet states or China's Uyghur genocide, so long as a country supports an anti-Western policy and business is good, the violence or injustices they inflict on the world can be overlooked and ignored. Here at City Prepping, we have been covering aspects of this emerging New World Order for several years, and we're beginning to see this play out right in front of us in real time now. If we look at just the BRICS countries' involvement in and around the Israeli-Gaza conflict, we can clearly see the other side of the World War brewing. And Russia's paramilitary group, the Wagner Group, plans to supply Hezbollah in Lebanon with an air defense system. The system in question, the Russian SA-22, combines anti-aircraft missiles and guns to counteract Israeli aircraft. But look, providing defense is one thing, but what you may not know about the Russian defense systems are how they are easily repurposed and converted to an offensive weapon. We've most recently seen this in Russia's war with Ukraine. Russia denies that they plan to send this equipment, but in the same statement, they claim that the Wagner Group doesn't exist, which we know it does. How much Russia can support as it wages its own war remains to be seen. We also see Russia's reformulated Wagner Group strategy to take over resource-rich Central Africa. And Russia is moving to expand its military presence in eastern Libya, a plan that could lead to a naval base, giving it a significant foothold on Europe's southern doorstep. Now, currently they use Libya to support operations in the Burkina Faso, the Central African Republic, and several other African nations where Russia has actively aligned with the rebellion groups. Now, the Israeli military says Hamas has fired over 5,000 missiles toward the country since the war began, and those missiles were not built in Gaza. Iran supplied them. Israeli intelligence in 2021 estimated Hamas and Islamic Jihad, another militant group operating in Gaza, had some 30,000 missiles in their arsenal. Now, the U.S. has estimated Hezbollah and other militant groups in Lebanon have some 150,000 missiles and rockets. Again, these were not built in Lebanon. Iran supplied them. As we indicated a few weeks back, China, the C in BRICS, has sent its naval vessels to the Persian Gulf to monitor the situation as Iranian attack boats continue to seize international vessels in the region. Now, the U.S. Navy is also heavily represented in the tight water, so what could go wrong, right? Apart from those significant moves by major players, some mid-sized players are also choosing sides in this Israel-Gaza conflict.